Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of the New Wine Guild. And tonight, it's a Friday, and it's the perfect time to kick back, have a glass of wine, and taste something new, and learn something new, which is what we always like to do here at the Wine Guild. So tonight I have chosen a Chianti to taste, excuse me, and the Chianti is kind of a very common wine. You've heard about it your entire life, especially if you were an Italian, grew up in an Italian household, you knew about Chianti. In the movies, if you like old movies, if they were ever in an Italian restaurant, they would always be drinking Chianti, and they would usually be something like this, a bottle like this. And traditionally, this is where the Chianti was found, in these basket bottles. But that has changed over the years. A lot of it has changed. They've done a lot expanding Chianti to be accepted in all different types of areas, in terms of the wine world, in terms of restaurants, in terms of really elevating it to be more accepted by those that looked at it as kind of like the poor person's wine. But nonetheless, it always was a good wine. And I want to teach you a little bit about it today. So the Chianti is a region in Tuscany. So if something is a Chianti, the wine comes from a specific region in Tuscany called Chianti. And Chiantis are all made from a certain type of grape called Sangiovese. Sangiovese grapes are a very common grape, used in blending, used by themselves. If you've ever tasted a Brunello, it's all Chianti. It's all Sangiovese grapes. That same grape is widely planted across Italy as well as Spain. In Spain, it's called Tempranillo, but it's the same grape. It's genetically the same grape. The United States has had a lot of success with it in California in using it as a blending grape as well with their various Cabernets. So it's a widely planted and widely used grape, and it's something that we should all enjoy. It's traditionally not the heaviest wine. It's traditionally a medium type of body, usually dry because it is an Italian, and that's what we're gonna drink here tonight. It's Chianti from Italy, obviously. If something is Chianti from America, it's not a Chianti. Much like Champagne is not Champagne unless it's from the region of Champagne in France. So anyway, let's get to it, and then after I'm going to show you a demonstration about why you should never put ice cubes in the wine. All right, so tonight we're going to taste. It is a Chianti Reserva, and what that means, Reserva, really what that means is that this Chianti was aged 24 months in its creation before it hit the market. And it also means that it has a minimum alcohol content of 12.5%. This one has over 13%, but that's that minimum. There's also a regular Chianti, which is anything below that, anything aged less than 24 months, 2 years. There is Chianti Classico, which is all purely Sangiovese grapes. This Chianti Reserva and Chianti have by far mostly Sangiovese, but there's also a slight amount of white grapes blended in, usually Trebbiano grapes. So just something to know, a fact about it. It's only 100% pure Sangiovese grape if it's Classico. This one's not a Classico, this is Reserva, which means it was aged. I've already poured it. Now, when I opened it, I don't know if you can see this, it is a cracked cork, which is not a good sign. Usually means that if it's not bad, the wine, it's going to go bad shortly, which means the seal was broken by the cork being dried out. This is a 2013 wine, which is kind of old for Chianti. Chiantis are meant to be enjoyed sooner than that. The 9 years is a lot of time for a Chianti to sit. Usually you can get them right off the shelves, they're just made after that 24 months. And you drink them right out of the bat. You don't have to age them like you would with a Barolo or a Brunello or other Cabernets where it's thicker, heavier wine where you want to age it for better taste and better tasting experience. So anyway, let's try this one. Hope it's not bad. I've had it for quite a while. Start with the smelling it. Start with the nose. I mean, I get a cherry whiff immediately. Cherry smell. And I also get a little bit of that sulfur again. And people will laugh and say, sulfur? How could it be sulfur? Or gunpowder? How could it be gunpowder? It's the sulfites that are in the wine that help preserve it. You get a little bit of hint of that. And that also could mean that it's turning. It's turning bad. Smells like that are not necessarily good. So hopefully we caught this soon enough that it didn't affect the wine. It was just starting to smell it. And what happens when it goes bad? It turns into vinegar. And we do not want to drink vinegar on the Wine Guild. So let's see what we got here. It is unfortunately starting to turn bad, but it's not there yet. It's still drinkable. It's still drinkable. And I can tell by tasting it, some of the fruit tastes are still there. Obviously it's dry. You can taste the tannins, which is when your mouth dries out from wine, your tongue, it all dries out from the. But the tannins aren't that strong. I can taste cherry. I can taste slight bit of plum, not so much, but mostly like a deep dark cherry taste to it. A little bit of strawberry maybe. But I can tell this was a good wine. I mean, it's still good now, and it's starting to turn. I can imagine what it would have been like if I drank it 5 years ago. It probably would have been a spectacular wine. But anyway, I think it's good. I mean, the name of the wine is, let's see, it's from Renzo Massi. Renzo Massi, bottled by Menzo Rossi. It's a Rufina distributor. Let's see if we could zoom in on this so you could take a look at it with my wonderful technology here. It's pretty cool. There's the label, 2013. It was $14, which is not bad at all for a good wine. I'd take it any day. So many wines are overpriced. This one isn't. Obviously, I mean, I don't know, something this old, you probably will not be able to get it, but what this means, that this wine held up this long, means that the producer knows what they're doing. So if you're going to get this now, like a newer vintage, like a 2017, 2018 vintage, I think it would be great. 19, 20, whatever's out there. Well, 20 wouldn't be out there yet. But, Rufino is the manufacturer, and the Renzo Massi is the producer. So look for that, Renzo Massi Chianti. I think you'd like it. So there's a little bit of your history around Chianti, the grape around it. We tasted this one. It's good. You're going to get that cherry taste. Sometimes you get little bits, hints of strawberry. What I like about this, sometimes Chiantis are over oaked, meaning you taste too much of the oak in it from the barrels, the wooden barrels. Not the case here. So it's good. I'm very happy with this wine. So let's move into something a little bit more interesting now. Now, we have a decent wine here. We want to drink it. I see so many times people putting ice into their wine. And I cringe every time. And here's why. When you're putting ice into your wine. Now, here for an example, here is a glass filled with ice. What I did was I took the 2 glasses filled with the same amount of ice, right? Here's the other one, and I let it melt. This is the amount of water that came from that ice. Now, many times people will ice it into the wine and say, "Oh, I like it cold." Fine, you like it cold, put it in the refrigerator. I personally don't like it cold because it takes away from the taste. The tastes or the cold pins up the taste. If it's room temperature, you can taste all the aspects of the wine, and you want the total experience of the wine. So if you were to put this ice into it, right? This is the amount of water you're putting into the wine. So let's see what happens when you do that. So basically, would you do this? Would you do this? The next time you think about putting ice in your wine, would you do that? Would you pour that much water into your wine? Now, a lot of times we complain about the wine tastes like it's diluted. It's too watery. It doesn't have the taste we want. that is a perfect way to get that reaction. Water in your wine. Now, let's taste it. I know it's going to be awful, but I'm going to taste it anyway. It literally tastes like water. It tastes like, I don't know what it tastes like. It's water with something in it. That's what it tastes like, water with something in it. So think about that. The next time, don't limit yourself. Don't limit the wine experience of tasting the wine, getting the full effects of the wine from the beginning, from the smell, from the taste, the various taste buds going through your body, going through your mouth, all of that. You're ruining that by putting ice into it. So don't do it. Please don't do it. Just try it. Next time, if you've consistently been doing it with ice, try it without the ice. See how you like it. Put it in the refrigerator and try it. And do this experiment at home and tell me if you'll know the difference. When you have that glass that you pour right out of the bottle without the ice, and then you took that ice and you took that amount of water that was in that ice and put it in there, and compare the two and tell me what you think. And look, if you like it, so be it. Drink it. But I hate to see people missing out on the experience of tasting wine in its purest sense. It is such a delightful event to go through. Why pass it up? So anyway, that's my shtick for today. A Chianti Reserva. It was very good, even though it started to turn a little bit. It says a lot for the manufacturer in the sense, because you don't know where this bottle was stored. From the minute it was bottled to where it gets across the ocean to the United States, goes into a distributor's warehouse, distributed out. Someone buys it. I didn't buy this myself. Someone gave it to me, so who knows how it was stored. So many things can happen along the way that it's always a potluck whether you're going to get a good wine or it's going to be bad. So you just have to be careful. I always say, if you have a wine you find you like, go and buy it immediately and store it properly yourself. Buy a bunch of it. Keep it so you know you kept it the right way. You don't have to avoid. You can avoid the situation of having this crappy cork like this break on you, which tells you that it's about to turn bad. So that is my grape gab. You learned about the Sangiovese grape. You learned about your wine IQ went up with a little bit of history about where Chianti comes from, what it means, the three types of Chianti. And then let's end with a wine quote. That's another part I want to say. Every show I would like to do a wine quote. This is a wine quote from Benjamin Franklin, who I happen to be reading. His autobiography right now, which is awesome. Never was finished, but it's a great book. Amazing man, and he appreciated wine. Amazing American, I say, who appreciated wine. Anyway, so here's this quote. In wine, there is wisdom. In beer, there is freedom. In water, there is bacteria. So always that wit and wisdom, but of Ben Franklin. But that, to me, says it all. Wisdom is wine. Beer is for freedom. Yeah, we have beer and we have fun, but wine is where you find your wisdom. You sit back, you drink, you contemplate life, you talk with friends, you get closer to your friends and family. Wine is the way to go. Beer is fine when you want to hang out and have a little fun, but wine is so much more. And if you don't believe me, Ben Franklin says so. So anyway, as always, I say thank you for watching. If you like this, please follow me. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button so you know when a new video is up, and leave me comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. As always, I'm not an expert, just an amateur that likes to share my experiences with wine, something that I love, and I'd like to share it with you. So as long as you guys want it, I will produce it. So awesome time today with this. I really enjoyed doing this, and well, as I say always, if you like it, help us build the Guild. Until next time.